Anime villains: Sukuna, Frieza, Meruem, Madara. All these villains have overwhelming power that defines them throughout their respective series. Power we idolize to a great extent because it shows the very top of the food chain in their respective verses. Even with all that being said, what I really think sets the difference between a top villain or not is dialogue. What comes out their mouth is integral for how we view them. To paint into perspective, Meruem came out the womb talking about seeing humans no differently than cattle that we slaughter. It made the viewer think to themselves, well, his nature is no different from our own. Madara went throughout the entire war arc, sounding like a philosopher with his negative utilitarianism mindset where he wants to reduce the pain and suffering for everyone around him. Sukuna claiming that only the strong can decide for other people, and a hierarchy not built on strength is meaningless. It's not only their strength, the dialogue makes us keep watching these villains and even root for them. So let me tell you the villain I'm rooting for right now. I've been so obsessed with this speech for about a few months now. The speech Blackbeard said to Luffy about dreams never ending. I say it's even the best speech I heard in all shonen anime. Now before you say watch more anime, give me some time to explain. The pie incident that starts all of this off, Luffy and Teach having a disagreement over pie, one calling the taste phenomenal and the other calling it horrific. They later argue again about drinks until they're about to fight about all their tiny disagreements. Teach later then leaves with the pie. Such a small detail, it can be said that their encounter left a terrible taste in each other's mouths. A slight move that showed that in almost every regard they were opposites compared to each other. That is until Luffy talks about the Sky Island existing, but no one believes him, so they beat him up. You know the classic anime trope of we don't believe you, so we'll fight you because of a simple disagreement. Side note, I used to think no one actually really fought over disagreements like that. I was like, no one will truly try to harm you over disagreements of philosophies, right? To me, it's quite stupid, but people will really show their hatred towards you if you have a disagreement with them. I mean, a week ago, a Gojo fan insulted me for disagreeing about the fight. So, these anime scenes have some validity. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I thought it would be a typical anime story of Luffy proving everybody wrong, everybody shocked, then everybody goes about their day. Until there was one specific scene where Luffy walks out that where Nami drags Luffy and Zoro out that shop, and Blackbeard says the island does exist.
The Sky Island does exist.
The very person that he was disagreeing with over drinks, pies, is sitting right there eating the pies they just disagreed about, reinforcing everything he just said. With him talking about Scott Pier, with Blackbeard talking about Scott Pier existing, it was surreal to me because I knew about Blackbeard for so long, but I always thought he'd be the complete opposite of Luffy in the sense of dreams don't matter. Typically your dreams make no sense, but that wasn't the case. He was a dreamer. Blackbeard was a dreamer, and it shocked me to my core. I thought he was a true antithesis. I didn't think him and Luffy would have the same ideals. That's what surprised me the most. And it's so simple, but it's so insane because I was built to believe that Blackbeard was not a dreamer. I was built to believe off of looks that he was this realist. Twitch promo. Hey, if you like the video, support my Twitch. I talk about everything. We play games, fun. Please do it. Nah. Follow me on other social medias too. Follow my other YouTube's accounts too. Let me stop. I really just want the Twitch. This is promo for the Twitch. Follow me on Twitch now. I am telling you to do it. Do it now. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Onto the video. As Blackbeard talks about people's dreams never dying. If I was in front of him at that moment, I could see why he has that many good crewmates with him, loyal crewmates. Because if I was in front of him at that moment, I would have ran through a wall for that nigga. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. At that moment, I would have ran through a wall for him because it was so motivating. I don't know how to describe it. I'm gonna describe it later for the ending, but it was such a motivating thing. Blackbeard has maybe even fooled the reader into thinking he'll be an ally. I mean, how many times has Luffy butt heads with someone and then later on they're best buddies. I mean, he literally believes in Luffy. The fact that he reinforced Luffy means that Luffy feels positivity towards him, right? But the way Monkey D. Luffy looks at him is in a whole nother light. Some people might say Luffy looks at him that way because he's reminiscing. It's almost like Luffy is looking at him with some sort of distaste. Like Luffy's just staring into an abyss of something, and as a reader or as a watcher, I can't tell why Luffy stares at him like that. I mean, I could guess, but at the end of the day, for who Luffy is, it just at that point doesn't make sense to me. Luffy is one of those people, if he's reinforced, he's best buddies with you, but for some reason with Blackbeard, it just seems off. Like something about Blackbeard teach just seems so off to Luffy that he cannot agree with him. He cannot say you're right. And that's the mystery makes it so beautiful to me. I want to wonder, what is Luffy thinking in that moment? People say he's thinking about Shanks or Ace. He's reminiscing about his pirate journey, but we don't know for certain what he's thinking. Some people say Luffy looks at him that way because he's reminiscing on the way Ace and Shanks talked about being a pirate. The only problem I have with that is the fact he looks Blackbeard dead in the eyes. The entire time, making sure to never look in any other direction, he completely heard everything Teach has said, and Blackbeard keeps asking him, am I right? So why does he look so cruel to him? Why, at least into my eyes, why does Luffy look so cruel? Like he sees danger. I believe it's the fact that he knows everything Blackbeard says is right. I mean, they're his core beliefs. Why wouldn't he be right in that instance? But something about Blackbeard is so twisted that Luffy feels like something is off with him. You see, Luffy is portrayed to have high emotional intelligence. Every time on screen, from what I've seen of One Piece, at least he knows when someone's feeling angsty or in trouble. But until they outright say that, he remains passive. I believe Luffy is showing that same feeling to Blackbeard. He knows somewhere in Blackbeard's heart he is wavering. You see, what we don't know is Blackbeard's dreaming high as well. But compared to Luffy, he's literally done the opposite to ascend to his greatness. He's a pirate to the core, but he's betrayed his own crewmates, killing him to begin his reign with the devil fruit, while Luffy's reign began with him saving people from tyranny from their own crew. I think later on in the story, Luffy will save Blackbeard in a way. In what way? I don't know. Maybe from his fruit, maybe from himself. I know that's my opinion. That's my take on it. I know some people might say, hey, he's staring at Blackbeard that way because he knows Blackbeard will be a threat. And that can be true, but for me, I think it's more of, so there's something that we don't know about Blackbeard. I think it's more of Blackbeard saying, crying for help in a way. And I could be wrong. This is theories. Of course I could be wrong. Duh, nigga. But to me, I think there's something deeper, and maybe older than think of that or some shit. But I think there's something deeper that I'm just missing whenever it comes to this interaction. Now, this part not gonna be a part of script. This part gonna be a little bit raw, so you can skip this part. But this speech means so much to me for the simple fact that people's dreams never die. I think for this speech it was more of a right time moment. If you understand what I'm saying, it was more of a right time moment where I was like struggling to figure out, what do I want to do in life? And then I heard this speech. This speech right here is the reason I got up and I said, I want to stream. I know you got like I had a promo saying like my stream, but this speech right here was the thing that made me get up and say, I want to be a content creator. This right here, people's dreams never die. I had always grew up wanting to be a content creator, and this is not a video for me. This is not one of those I want to be a content creator videos. No. I always wanted to be a content creator. I had like looked at content, but I didn't think I could do that. And then One Piece shifted that for me. One Piece made me think that the impossible is possible. So I have been grinding through content, but that's nothing about it. This isn't just about me. This is about life, if I may say. It's about you keep on going because your dream hasn't died yet. That's what I always interpret from that speech from Blackbeard. Keep going because your dream hasn't died. Your dream will never die. Keep trying to achieve it. You see, me, that speech isn't only a philosophy of like never give up on your dreams. That speech is telling you to keep on living. I think that's what that speech is telling you. Keep on living. I take multiple breaks from One Piece. And I'm gonna make a video about One Piece and my experience with it. But I take multiple breaks from One Piece. But every time I come back to this story, it always gives me something to think about. The whole Scott P arc was so boring to me. Now, I don't want to say boring. That's my fault. The pacing was so bad to me, but the reward at the end made me cry literal tears. That Blackbeard speech didn't make me cry tears, but it made me want to get the hell up and start doing something in life. I'm gonna be so honest on this camera. I wanted to be a content creator for so long, but I just didn't have the motivation to get up and to get my ass up and do it. That Blackbeard speech literally turned my life around. Not my literal life. My life was going good, but it literally it really made me start following my dreams. I wonder if there's any other examples of anime speeches doing that for people. Put that in the comment section if you can. For whoever watches this, I wonder if there's like examples. There has to be, right? Like anime speeches in media, speeches in movies that motivated people. Cause this one surely did motivate me. It surely did. I won't lie, I won't care. As I look into his and Luffy's eyes and I say, damn. There's a certain respect they have between each other just to acknowledge each other's presence. But there's this look in their eyes, that this passion that you can't replicate. That no matter what, he will follow his dreams. If I'm not mistaken, because I have been spoiled on One Piece a little bit, but it doesn't matter because regardless, I am locked in with it. But I remember, like, if Teach had never found that, he says it himself, if he had never found that fruit, he was content with living with Whitebeard. But the second he found that fruit, he realized his dreams could happen. That's all it takes. A little fruit, a little amount of fruit to say, hey, I can really go about what I want to do. This speech for me was that little fruit, that little devil fruit. Hopefully I could grow, but this ain't what it's here about. This speech was phenomenal, like top tier speeches, especially coming off like one of the lower points in the anime. We always talk about there's always low points in One Piece, like Crocodile, Luffy. Crocodile, what he did to Luffy. Right now is Emo, what he did to Luffy. But there was never a low point when it came to ideals in One Piece, from what I understand. There was some fussing. There was like, I want to live and all that. There was some fussing and all that. But when it came to ideals and Luffy's ideals, what exists and what doesn't, we, as a reader, was always like, all right, this shit exists. Luffy believes it exists. But at this point, we were, with everybody around him, we were just like led to believe this. At least for me, I was led to believe like this shit might not exist. Scott P might be fake. And then Blackbeard just reinforces everything Luffy says, but for some reason, Luffy just looks him in the eyes and cannot smile at him. Blackbeard literally deconstructed Luffy's whole life and all his dreams and said, I am the same as you, I'm right. But for some reason, Luffy at that point could not agree with him. And that's such an interesting thing, because even with a good philosophy shown in like Hunter x Hunter, where Netero and Meruem are having a dual ideals. Netero like, this end is swaying me. I believe what he says. I think what he says is true. Is it true or not? That's for interpretation. But Netero believes it's true. with Blackbeard's speech, what Luffy believes is ambiguous. What did Luffy think? What did he witness? Why did he not agree with such a true statement, at least true to his ideals? I want that answer so badly, more than anything I've ever wanted to see in One Piece. I want more interactions between Luffy and Blackbeard. I'm expecting more interactions. I know there will be more interactions, but I want it so soon. And it can't come soon enough. I gotta catch up to the anime. I gotta catch up because when that interaction comes, I know it's gonna be a treat for everybody's eyes. I know it. To end the video, just to like give y'all a point of view of what I think in my theories for One Piece, I truly do think Blackbeard has 3 souls residing in him. 3 souls, the non-sleeping, like there's too much, and the 3 skulls on his ship, there's too much just like representing that he has three or something residing in them. Too much symbolism. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And it was about what Nami said. There's always a debate about it, but to me, what Nami said, Nami specifically describes who is Blackbeard, who is Teach, who is that man. And Zoro and Luffy say, they. That's them, that's they, them. If Zoro or Luffy would have been describing his crew, they would have clearly said, oh, his crew with him. They have identified crews, but Oda leaving it ambiguous. And they would give Nami assurance. I don't think it's in their character to like tell Nami that danger is coming. I watch One Piece, they always say danger is coming or something like that. It's not in their character to say, oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's them. Didn't just walk off. There's something more about Blackbeard. And will we get confirmation about it? Of course, someday. Maybe next year. But as of right now, we know nothing. And his character is so interesting to me. I know he's not like a One Piece favorite. Turn around for this. I know he's not like the most favorite character. I'm rooting for him to be the final villain. Emo cool. I'm rooting for Blackbeard to be the final villain. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Say who you rooting for to be the final villain too. Garp. Garp one of my favorite characters. I know like half of y'all hate him though. One last thing for anybody that's still here. I don't know why you're still here. I'm not that interesting. But one last thing for anybody that's still here. There's some videos that I'm gonna put on this channel that are old. That's not my process. That's not my writing process no more. A lot of those videos were like on the spot. The new videos, and this video coming after like all the old ones. The new videos will be somewhat scripted, just so I could get a clearer picture. So expect videos like this. I'm thinking scripted and raw. I'm thinking scripted, and then at the end like a little bit of rawness. But we'll see. Thank you. Tell a friend. Join my Twitch. Tell them join the family. Boom. Peace. Expand on that like button. And just remember, people's dreams never die.